But anyways, let's see what we have here. We have Agibinium, and we can land here, in fact. Agibinium is a small terrestrial world with an extremely thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and krypton. Though the planet has sufficient mass to maintain a much thicker atmosphere, much of it has been blasted away, presumably by solar wind. The red giant Amazon is a long-period variable star, currently at the nadir of its 16-year cycle. At peak, its energy output doubles, lashing Agibinium with intense heat and radiation. Crust is mainly composed of aluminum with deposits of tin. Much of the surface is coated with fine silicate dust, which easily penetrates the smallest cracks in foul machinery. That's interesting. Talking about how it gets blasted with radiation, yet it is just minus 22 degrees Celsius. That might be in large part because its atmosphere has, for the most part, been burned away, or radiationed away. And so, for that reason, it just doesn't retain much heat, even though it's getting a ton of heat and radiation. Radiation is heat. Okay, fair enough. From the star. This is the place where we can land. We will get there eventually, but not yet. Let's look at the other planets here first. We have Dernuka. I feel like this should be the planet where the explosive probe is. Why, you ask? Just read the name. Dernuka is an enormous terrestrial world, nearly twice the size of Earth. Its environment is similar to that of Mars, arid and a mix of craggy basalt highlands and sand-scoured deserts of iron-laced silicate dust. Dernuka's atmosphere mainly consists of carbon dioxide and argon, but the planet's mass is great enough that measurable amounts of helium and even molecular hydrogen remain trapped in its atmosphere. The planet's gravity well is deep enough that it has collected nearly a dozen small satellites, most captured asteroids. Its surface is scarred by many large impact craters, marking the final resting place of other captured asteroids. Okay, it is similar temperature. Otherwise, not anything super notable there. Then we have Sonedma? Probably Sonedma. Sonedma is the second of the Amazon system's arid superterrestrial worlds. It is considerably less dense than its neighbor Dernuka and has an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of iron-laced silicates with deposits of sulfur. Okay, and we can survey this. It is, at this point, getting far enough away that it is quite cold. Rare elements. While scanning this planet, you detected a small deposit of polonium. Make some weapon ammo out of that. Then we have Cybin. A small rock and ice planet, Cybin has an extremely thin atmosphere of hydrogen sulfide and ethane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of magnesium and silicates with deposits of iron. Cybin's crust contains significant deposits of green serpentine, a mineral formed by volcanic activity. This suggests Cybin was a more geologically active world in the distant past. Interesting. We can survey this as well, and we get a Turing insignia. While scanning the planet Cybin, we discovered a large mine grid in geosynchronous orbit. With help from Navigator Presley, your recon team recovered a small unmanned probe marked with the Quadim outpost insignia. Nice. Then lastly, we have Tremar. Tremar is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of methane and nitrogen in its upper atmosphere. And we can survey this, and we will get a large concentration of nitrogen from hydrogen-helium gas giant. Well, you know, it does say some nitrogen as well. It's gonna say, you know, presumably we would have gotten hydrogen or helium, but I suppose it still makes sense. Alright, but Agibinium is the place that we are most interested in going now. This is where we can actually land and see what the deal is, so we need to be discreet here and find a way to, hopefully, well, tell you what. I mean, Hackett was basically just like, hey, find a way to deal with this explosive probe. And Shepard says, well, that's great, but we don't have anyone trained to do that. And then never really resolved that whole problem. Because he's still sending us here. We still don't have anyone trained in, you know, deactivating such an explosive. Well, I mean, I think back to the tutorial even on Eden Prime, and we diffused. Were they technically explosives, or were they I guess EMP is also kind of explosive, sort of. That Saren set up there. I don't remember which one they technically were, but I mean, we did that. It can't be so different, right? It's just the fact that we expressed that concern, never really addressed or came up with some conclusion to it, and still Hackett nonetheless said, go do it anyway. Just kind of, you know, feels like he's basically sending us to our death, but we'll find a way to make it work. Okay, so with that in mind, who would we like to bring here? I think so. If you are not someone, if your Shepard is not skilled in tech abilities, then you may want to bring at least somebody who has some tech abilities here. Otherwise, I think you might want some ranged abilities here. And sure, we'll take. This was the group we used last time, right? But it was a very, very brief mission. So, I mean, they didn't really get any time to shine, so we'll take them here as well. Okay, let's take a look at our squad. I think it's still, highlighting because we have left 1 point unspent for Garrus, waiting to see if it's possible for us to do anything with electronics here. But, let's see. So, Espionage Probe. An old Alliance espionage probe was turned up in the Voyager cluster. These probes carried, well, yeah, pretty nasty payloads. And if the Citadel discovers these booby traps, it would greatly embarrass the Alliance. Yeah, basically, humans may no longer be allowed on the Citadel, and we would potentially be, banished from all of Citadel space. Your mission is to find, disable, and recover the probe. Yeah, so that's what I mean. We said we don't have anyone who's capable of disabling this thing, and yet we're still getting sent down here to disable this thing. So, thanks, Hackett. Appreciate it. So, let's see. The probe signal is coming from the Amazon system in the Voyager cluster. Head there and track it down. Well, that's where we are. So, let's take a look at our map now, and we are southern third or so. And we have an anomaly here, debris here, and then Alliance homing beacon. Okay, so that presumably means that is the place we're looking to go. So, as for the route we'd like to take here, I mean, our usual course of action is, of course, to go in some circles around and, well, I mean, as has often been the case, at least as of late, we end up on the opposite side of the planet, starting on the opposite side of the planet from the place where we are ultimately trying to go. And so it begs the question of, which direction do we go to get there? And if we want to do our usual circle strats around the perimeter of the planet, then it oftentimes means just, well, driving right past the thing that we ultimately want to do so that we are finishing on that, which may be what we have to go for here as well. I think, why don't we go counterclockwise to lead things off with and see what the deal is with this anomaly and the debris. Let's mark that. That is kind of, sort of, in the opposite direction to what we are currently facing. But let's also try to get to the edge of the map here, see if there's anything else that we might discover. This is actually a larger area than I was expecting. Yeah, okay, here's the edge of the map. Love if we didn't have to go over that. May still need to go over this. I mean, it's not as tall, but it is perhaps equally steep. We could run into some issues here. Do we have what it takes? I think so. No problem. No problem. I think we also, before I forget, pretty sure, didn't we pick up a nice sniper rifle recently? Yes, definitely. This is pretty sweet. The thing is, pretty significant damage upgrade, small accuracy upgrade. The heatsink capacity, definitely a downgrade there. Problem with that being, if we are to use a high caliber barrel, the reduced heat absorption, he will overheat this weapon after firing it just once, which, as sniper rifles go, is maybe not the worst thing in the world, because, you know, usually it's not like you're rapid firing your sniper rifle. But perhaps if we could find enough heat damping, sort of counteract that. Yeah. Those, in theory, should cancel each other out. But he has exactly one shot that he can make, and then his weapon won't overheat. So he should have a slightly quicker time before he can shoot again. Out of curiosity, yeah, is there anything he can do that will allow him to get his, to either reduce the amount that his weapons overheat, or to just un-overheat his weapons? Assassination doesn't, like, automatically make it so you have your assault rifle, or rather your sniper rifle, un-overheated, does it? Only available when using sniper rifles. Next shot will inflict huge damage. Purchase weapon heat. Oh, does purge weapon heat on use. There you have it. That's exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, that actually does mean that you could load up on just an absolute boatload of damage, and you don't care about if your weapon overheats, because as long as you have assassination to use, then you can immediately get your weapon back to being usable, and a bunch of damage with assassination. Which is perhaps reason enough to go all in. I mean, all in on the damage. A sniper rifle with area of effect. I mean, I'm pretty sure put a level 9 explosive rounds on, might have been Tally recently. In fact, we have Tally right here, don't we? Let's, hold on. That's not what I meant to do. Let's swipe best explosive rounds on, I think it was Tally's shotgun. Pretty sure. Yeah. This is our best one. Let's just downgrade a little bit for Tally. Give the better one to Garrus instead. So yeah. Large blast, or 4-meter blast radius is, I mean, it's not huge, but it's something. And then huge weapon force, so blasting someone into the stratosphere. Then the damage is, it's not as much as one of the pure damage ammo types like synthetic or tungsten rounds or shredder rounds. But if you combine that with things like high caliber barrels, oh, I would love if we had a better version of this. The higher damage number, again, I think we might have more or less done the setup on Tally, but I think it's just more relevant for Rex. Or rather, for Garrus. Frictionless materials, I mean, does give a tiny bit of damage. Might be the best we can do in the second spot, but let's look at Tally here. But not on her, whatever weapon that was, though. This guy, yeah. So we have 2 rail extensions. But I'd like to have this on Garrus instead, and just totally maximize the damage, or at least on the weapon upgrades, and then get the explosive rounds for the... Maybe we just go pure damage on the ammo type for Garrus after all. Just try to get 1-shot, 1-kill territory. But, let's see. So for you, in that case, Tally, what do we put instead? I guess we just put stability. You know, I don't love it, but there just isn't a great alternative unless we're giving you combat optics for the detection and some accuracy, but don't feel great about that one either. So yeah, now that opens up some big options here for you, Garrus. So you can go better high caliber barrels, or rail extensions technically. One on, and second on, it is definitely more damage than what you were using previously, even if your other upgrade could have a small damage boost. Now the question is really, I was talking about the explosive rounds, not on this. Oh wait, what? Inferno? Where did those come from? Oh, did we neglect to actually select this? We might have. But yeah, explosive rounds, I mean, we actually prefer the damage? Pure damage? We might. Just make it pure damage rather than explosion-y. I think the explosion stuff might inherently work a little bit better with the shotgun, because shotgun is sort of like, it's almost a crowd-controlling weapon, whereas the sniper rifle is more pure damage. We're probably looking for spreader rounds here, I think. Because, yeah, 40% damage versus what was the explosive? 20 or maybe a little bit over 20. So we're losing 20-ish% damage, and that's pretty significant. Well, I think we do prefer what we had here. Ooh. This is just a better version of your Omni tool here. And I'm not sure. I mean, the shield's sure does a tiny bit for you, but the med recharge bonus really doesn't. So I think we probably do just do that, like for like, just a small upgrade. Okay. Yeah, let's go that route then. Now we just head further north here. Ooh, we got this question mark that I don't think we knew about. No, it's not this one that we have marked at the moment. It's something different from that. But what? I ask you. But what? In that case. Seems like it's down here in a ditch. We get line of sight on it. Hold on. What are we looking for here? Oh, okay. Looks like just a crash probe of some variety, maybe. Oh, or a corpse. A little more concerning, perhaps. Brushing away the carbonization of the door of the contragravity speeder, see the Nezo brand name. Judging by the charring, wreckage has been here since the star's last variable peak. Corpse is wearing the remains of an expensive suit and would appear to be melted antique aviator goggles. Huh. That an Amelia Earhart reference? Maybe. It says crash vehicle. Okay. Well, anyways, let's head back up. And toward the question mark that we have marked. Oh yeah, this is also the edge of the map, so let's maybe just make a point of checking out this corner, make sure we're not missing anything there. I don't think I'm seeing anything. No? Okay. Now let's check this out then. Those are just stars. The way some of those were lining up was such that it seemed like one was almost right on top of that there. What is that? That might be our question mark. No, it seems like it perhaps is something much closer than that, though. Guess now we're on top of it. Oh. That's it. What do we have here? Okay, it's a Turian insignia. This body is a long way from anything and appears to have been here for quite some time. On the body is a book of drawings, including one of the Siglar outpost insignia. Okay. So what I was noticing was that. Might that be the debris that we see on our map? Could be. Suppose it could be. Or either way, we're probably looking ahead in that direction, so we can definitely investigate further. I'm regretting going this direction first. I think we're fine doing this, but I'm not 100% certain. For reasons I will later discuss. Yeah, and so you see this, but there's nothing we can do about it at the moment. So let's leave it alone for now. Just pay no mind. Pay no mind. Got a crash probe here. This is not another corpse. Seen a lot of those. This one's on the tougher side. Well, that was bad timing. No, I had an opportunity there. Nope. Hold on. Now I'm just gonna get really aggressive with it. Hold on. This is clearly an opportunity there, though. There we go. Okay. Level 9 snowblind rounds and frictionless materials. Okay, so I do like frictionless materials. That's the heat dampening and a little bit of damage. I do think it's a nice combo, and it's just another one of those weapon upgrades that we have so few of. And especially now that we're getting high enough level weapons that just about everyone is going to be putting 2 upgrades on their weapon. And so... oh, that looked like that was something else we could interact with for a second. But, yeah, that means we're using even more upgrades than we did previously. So those are very in demand. That X we're seeing there, is that... that is the Alliance homing beacon. But I think we'll wait before we actually go there. Let's prioritize general exploration first. Yeah, man. Tells we have things like these minerals here. Let's get something there. Kind of looks like it. Or is it again just the terrain has enough color changes that it's a little deceptive? That might be the case. I'm looking at this. That is just a rock. We're good here. Nothing to see. Now this, on the other hand, is a good rock. This is a rock we can use. Oh, not quite. There we are. Light metal was, I honestly did that too early to even double check. Beryllium or palladium? One of those, I think. Okay, and now we are basically in the northwesternmost corner. Let's head straight south from here. If possible, which is actually going to be kind of tough to do, come to think of it. But this is quickly backfiring. Can we get out? We might need to go backwards to go forwards. We might be stuck in here forever. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We can get out. I promise you we will find a way. We'll find a way. Oh, found a way. Backwards to go forwards. This is what I mean where, what I've said previously, once you get the elevation, you want to keep it. Because, you don't like having to climb up these things any more than you have to, for the most part. I thought maybe this lip here would be sufficiently, less steep. But it's not the case, though. Alright, you know, never mind. We'll just go even more backwards before we go forwards. Yeah, I can be a patient man. Sure. We'll wait for our opportunity. We'll wait for our opening. Might this be it, though? Might this be it, though? Pretty sure we just don't need to go up that. Yeah. Okay, so now let's get up on this from here, and suddenly, I mean, ideally we'd be like actually on this. Huzzah! This is what we're looking for. To at least get to the other side. Looking to go basically straight south from here. But I guess we don't really need to be up here other than just to get beyond this, so sure, I love doing it, but I suppose we're dropping down. Just pushing our fall a bit, he says as he lands upside down. That's okay, the Maker's designed for it. Don't worry about it. This does look like one of those places. One of those places, if you know what I mean. Is there one of those here? One of those, perhaps? Perhaps? Eh? Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's head for these minerals in that case. Conveniently right on the edge of the map, where we're probably going to be going anyway. I am betting that's it. That it is. It's magnesium. Skirt! Oh, look at that. Amazing drop-off. Best Uber driver ever confirmed. It is a large deposit of magnesium. Let's carry on then, and I would imagine we're probably getting somewhat close to the southern border here, although then again, it is hard to tell when you are spending a lot of time going up and not necessarily that much time going forward. It is a situation in which we found ourselves for a little while here, at least to a certain extent. Alright, but here is the edge of glory. But now we head this way. And we go to the southern border. Which I'm hoping that, comparatively speaking, is a little more tame. Fewer mountains. Seeing this one off in the distance, but at the same time, even if we do go that far, it seems like there's much more of a gradual build-up to it, fortunately. Is a bit more of the stuff we're looking for here, some mineral deposits. So let's grab those. A lot of minerals here, aren't there? These are actually a fair bit up. A little bit surprisingly, I think they're going to be right on this lit. Here they are. This is gonna be Sumerian. How did I know, you ask? Just know some Sumerian when I see it, you know? What can I say? That's the place where we were previously, right? Oh, yeah, that's the wrong direction. Wait, no, hold on. We didn't update our marker. We are looking to go that way. I was gonna say, it reminded me a lot of this big flat area that we went across there. I was like, have we been there? Because it also gave me the, what was it? The pressure jaw vibes, if you know what I mean. Oh man, now there's a wheelie. Again? Nah, not that time. Pressure jaw? Question mark? Perhaps. Here we come. Perhaps. Well, this would be the place. It is the corner. Nothing as of yet. And at this rate, you would think probably off the hook. Unless on the other side of this little hill, we might find something. Now that's not really something I particularly want to try to get up. This looks a little more traversable. Ideally, we'd actually, yeah, it might even be worth doubling back a little bit here to go up that. That looks like it's a much easier time. Look, it's just a natural, gradual slope. No big deal. No intense Mako traversal struggles. You probably would like to get more along the edge. Oh, well, tell you what, this is... Where exactly do we start? So we obviously have already seen this crashed vehicle. We get this last section here. Maybe we just take a quick moment to check this out. Well, I mean, not exactly seeing much here. That is the edge of the map. So in that case, I think we do start to cut back in for the middle and start heading toward our primary objective. That being the signal. I think we are more or less on track for it here. We should probably mark it though. A little bit off course, but that's probably due in part to us falling down the mountain. Ooh, although if we had to go back over this to get there, then that is kind of unfortunate. Hold on. Make this a little bit easier on ourselves, I think, if we go up here first. That's more like it. Okay, is it this? The right one that we marked? It is. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, is it down below us? Just want to make sure we don't, drop all the way down here for nothing, but that looks like we saw a little bit of it there. Pretty sure it's that. Pretty sure it's that. That does look like the kind of place where some enemies would be taking cover. But not this time, it doesn't seem. Like we're off the hook for now. So, let's take a look at what we have here.
The signal's coming from a mine?
That is strange.
Suspicious.
I agree. The probe did not crash. Someone moved it here.
You raise a good point. It's a probe, then how the heck did a probe crash inside of a mine? That there's no way that could ever happen. So yeah, Tally is saying someone moved it here, which means that, well, I don't know. It might be time to break out your Admiral Akbar gifts. Oh no, he said it. Oh no, I said it. Oh no. You heard nothing. I take no stance on the proper pronunciation of that acronym. Let's see. Whoever did it is in danger. Maybe, or we could be in danger.
They may not know what they have. Let's find it before they set it off.
Affirmative.
Okay, let's just make sure that they don't set it off on us. Okay, so we're now inside. Take a look. Oh, no, not at that. This. And it is our usual sort of mining underground base type of thing. There's the Alliance homing beacon is right there. So, in theory, that's where we're headed. Let's prepare ourselves accordingly. In case of trouble. Anything of note? Does not look like it. Signs of enemies, even. Usually at this point, let's see, would be, I mean, that was the little room. Now we're going into the big room. Usually we'd at least be able to spy an enemy or two from here. But no red dots. Also keep an eye out for potential crates with gear and what have you. That's interesting. But it is very quiet. Very quiet indeed. I'm not sure what these are technically supposed to be. These big killer-like things. Couldn't tell you. You know, I just don't think I could tell you. Alright, looking around the other side here, but it's looking not only devoid of enemies, but also potentially devoid of loot. Even worse. I know. I'll have to just take out our frustration on this light. Because, yeah, all I'm seeing is this door control here, and, okay, this is of crucial importance. Crucial importance. Save. Because, well, let's see what's in here. In fact, you could even make the case that I might have saved a little preemptively. Why, you ask? Why, you ask? Why, you ask? Tell you what, I'm gonna save here, specifically here. You'll see why. You'll see why. That's why.
That was a detonator, Commander.
Shepard, at last.
Alanos Halliets. Who the heck are you?
You have me at a disadvantage.
You don't remember me. No matter. I remember you. I never forget anyone I've fought. My name is Ilanos Halliet. I doubt you know it. Who do you think runs the Terminus clan, Shepard, huh? Thousands of pirates, slavers, criminals of every stripe?
You're trying to say you run the entire Terminus system? That's quite a bold statement there. It's a pretty lawless area that is full of a bunch of different people and organizations of a bunch of different varieties. Yeah, can't say you're in charge of that whole thing, can you?
In most criminal organizations, it's the one who's recognized as the most successful.
This is specific Terminus clan, not Terminus system.
Men, seizes the most ships, pillages the most colonies. 3 years ago, I was the strongest. I used my influence to assemble a fleet. We would drive your kind out of the Verge.
Oh. So, this guy is saying that, he attacked a human colony. in fact, potentially the very one that started the First Contact War, right? Was that Skilling Blitz? In my war or battles mixed up? I forget. But yeah, either way, he attacked a significant human settlement in a significant fight, and yeah, that's not cool.
You're the one behind the attack on Elysium.
I was the motivator, the instigator, the one who promised glory and riches for sacking the largest human colony in the cluster. The one blamed when it failed.
Yeah.
Failed because of you. Your damnable holding action.
So this guy doesn't seem pleased with us right now. And remember that whole part where when we were outside talking with Tally and with Garrus, they were saying, yeah, this whole crashed probe somehow ending up inside of a mine doesn't seem all that feasible. Remember the whole Admiral Akbar, in case you aren't familiar, it's a trap situation? Yeah. It's a trap. Someone get Joker on speed dial.
My crew will come for me.
Oh, let them. We'll be ready. An Alliance warship would make a fine prize. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, the ores here are laced with heavy metals. I'm afraid your suit radios aren't powerful enough to transmit out.
Yeah, also, so we apparently cannot call our friends for assistance on this occasion. Can we maybe just talk a little bit? I'm sure we can settle our differences, right? Right? Right?
It doesn't have to be like this, Halliot.
Empty words from a dead man. Goodbye, Shepard.
What do we do now, Shepard?
Alright, no one panic, but we may or may not be stuck down in a mine, unable to contact any additional people to help us, potentially in a room with an extremely powerful explosive. Nobody panic.
We've got air and light, and the Normandy's still in orbit. Let's look for another way out.
There's no time to get out. Let's look for another way out. There is no time to get out. Great news. You have to disable the bomb before it goes off. We have 10 seconds to do so. Disable this, or override it using 100 Omnigel. So this is why I was saying this before. Why we needed so much Omnigel, why it was so important. Because there are 3 of these things that we need to either manually disable using the minigame, or we need to spend a total of 300 Omnigel to basically just get our automatic free pass. Honestly, I don't know if our timer is actually counting off while we're on the screen or not. It may be, in which case, even if we finish this first one successfully, we're going to get this thing to blow up in our face, and we are going to die, and we are going to get a game over, which is why I was being so stern about making sure that we save before engaging in this conversation. We'll try the manual. Okay, it's actually not that bad, fortunately. Okay, get this one. So the easy way out is, of course, doing the hard saves. Also, where's this last one? Okay, good. Alright, the easy way out is by, disable the bomb. The easy way out is by just spending all that Omnigel, so make sure you have 300, and then you don't have to worry about the pressure of having 10 seconds to disarm this whole thing. Fortunately, the timer obviously does not count when we are on that choosing which route you want to take screen, otherwise we would have long been dead. Also, is not going off when you're actually doing the minigame itself. That obviously has its own timer for it. And that meant we finished that in like 8, or in like 2 or 3 seconds. We had like 8 or so seconds to spare. But it can be a little bit of a mad scramble if you do not know that that is coming. Because that was part of it, was I knew that as soon as that conversation was going to end, immediately interact with this so that you don't get blown up. And sometimes even, I remember the first time this happened to me, I got one of them, and I might have even used the override with the Omnigel to do it. I found the second one, and I was like, where's the third? Where's the third? Oh god, it's gonna blow up on me. It's gonna blow up on me. And then only at the very end did I find it and just barely survive. So yeah, there's that. So that's another one that I deliberately delayed doing this mission for a very long time, because it's a stressful one, and I wanted to make sure that at the very least, if we needed to, we had 300 Omnigel to bail ourselves out of a dire situation. So, fortunately, it didn't have to come to that, but that is at least the most extreme example I can think of the time where you would need to blow through crazy amounts of Omnigel in such a short amount of time, quite literally 10 seconds or less. Others, of course, being repairing the Mako, but that's in chunks of 25, so you would have to do that, what, a ton of times? You have to do it 12 times for it to add up to the same amount of just that one mission right there. So I think this is probably the single biggest splurge of Omnigel you'd likely ever spend, or maybe over the course of an entire mission in which the Mako is just taking hit after hit.